got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone.
Hello beautiful, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Pheladi and I hope you are still doing well. If you'd like to see me again, kindly click on the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on another upload. In today's makeup tutorial, we're going to start with our brows as per usual. Nowadays, Pheladi, I'm on a roll with doing my brows in my tutorial. So I'm going to start off by sticking them down using my Got To Be Ultra Glued Styling Gel for edges. Now that the glue is dry, I'm going to go right ahead and mattify my brows using my Sorbet Powder to You Loose Powder in the shade Medium. Straight after that, I'm going to now mimic hair-like strokes using my Smudge Brown Brow Mascara. And now to draw the sheer, I'm going to be going in with my Sheglam pencil in the shade Espresso. Ooh, not me forgetting how sharp it was. My brows have been showing me flames this past week, whether it be Instagram or TikTok and even here on YouTube. I just can't seem to get them to be sisters. Now they're looking more like cousins, but let's clean them up before I just freak myself out for nothing. Let's see how today's brow is gonna look like. So I'm going to flip the pen around and I'm going to go in with the felt tip side just to create more hair-like strokes, especially towards the end part of my brow. I don't know how wise it was for me to not powder them down with the powder like I always do. I guess it's the formula of this pen that made me forget about that step because it is quite matte. It's actually like a pencil. So I'm going to skip that step today and just cross my fingers and hope that my brows are not shiny and oily by the time I'm done with this beat. To clean the bottom part of my brows, I will be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation, which I'm in the shade 12.5. Well, I'm not in that shade, but this is the shade that I use to conceal. To clean the top part of my brows, I will be using the Sheglam Complexion Pro Foundation, which I'm in the shade Hazelnut. I am using the foundation so much, it's like I didn't wait 4 weeks for it to arrive. Moving along to the base, I'm going to now prime my face using the Sheglam Birthday Skin Primer. It is back in stock on the Shein website, and you can now use my promo code LODI25, LODI011. I will write it down on the screen and in the description box when you purchase anything site-wide on Shein. This is the perfect primer for these winter months when our skin is much more drier than in the summer months because it is very nourishing. So next time you're on the Shein app, don't forget this primer. I'm always in awe of how this foundation is so true to my skin tone that it looks like my second skin. If you are looking for a foundation that will match you perfectly and you are my shade, a bit darker or a bit lighter than me, this will be your perfect shade. Remember, it's the Sheglam Complexion Pro Foundation in the shade Hazelnut. Another trick that I discovered of late is that if you want to know what your shade is and you can't get something in store, or you just want to order it online, what you do is you take a picture of yourself while wearing foundation, right? And then you're going to match yourself with, you know, there's little blocks of foundation. I don't know how you're going to get that, but I would suggest that you just like screenshot it, crop it, and put it next to that picture, and it will match you perfectly if you do it like that as well. I discovered this from this other girl on Instagram. Her name is Nikita. And yeah, I've also started matching my foundations like that, especially the ones that I don't know the shades of. Like if I haven't been in store and I haven't bought foundation, let me just buy my Rimmel foundation, like foundation like that, and then I will let you guys know how it went before you go and try that, and then how you get it. But I think it really does work. And another one is going on foundation.com. Foundation.com is where you go on that website, you put in the search bar there on the site, you're gonna type in the foundation that you know is your shade. Like, you know that that foundation is your shade, you type that particular foundation and shade in the search bar, and then it's going to pull up all the foundations in that shade that you are in of all the brands. So that is also another way to find your perfect shade of foundations that you've never tried before. Contour, I will be going in with my Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F17. I'm only using this one because I'm still waiting for my F18 to arrive from Take A Lot. Yes, I do think it is a good foundation stick, but the thing is that I don't feel like it's dark enough. So that alone is just enough to not make me confident enough in using it as my contour shade. To highlight, I will be going in with the same Conceal and Define foundation that I use to clean my brows, which is the one in the shade 12.5 by Makeup Revolution. I will blend out my contour while I let this concealer get a bit more tacky, because I really love a full coverage look, especially underneath my eye area. I like how it adds subtle shadows and it contours my face, but I really want visible shadows and dark contours. That's what I like. That is me. I'm more on the heavy glam side of things in this makeup world. I don't want there to be a hint of makeup. Oh, where's the fun in that? I want you to see that I am wearing a full face of makeup. That's me. Unapologetically so, respectfully. And now when it comes to the contour and concealer on your forehead, I always go in with my foundation brush, which still has a lot of product on it, just to blend out this harsh line, because especially as a beginner, you won't be able to blend that line out. It is very difficult and it's an acquired skill, which even I haven't mastered. I'm not saying that just because I haven't mastered it, you won't, but it is an acquired skill. But why? Why would you want to put yourself through all that blending when you can just use a foundation brush as a neutralizer? Voila, just like that. That is all you need. I also use it to cancel out any harsh lines on the rest of my face where I've contoured and concealed without using any more product. Now to blend the concealer underneath my eyes, I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques setting brush. I've been loving to use this brush to blend out my concealer. I don't know why I hadn't used it before to do that. It is such a dream to work with on this part of my face. when you're blending out your nose contour, you don't want to drag actually everywhere on your face. You never want to drag your product. You always just want to tap 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 like that. That's how you get a flawless blend between your products and with the product itself, because if you swipe it, you risk rubbing it off, including the primer and everything, and that place that you just rubbed it off is going to look so unsightly that you might have to start afresh. Although I always say there's nothing of makeup that you can't fix with makeup, it's always just best to start with good practices to begin with so that you don't mess up your face, dog. I go over with my concealer brush just to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines and that this contour shade is not looking too dark. At the end of it all, I'm left with a hint of contour, and I love it just like this on my nose. I don't want there to be like obvious lines and walking around like a Royal 11 on my nose. And no, I'm not about that anymore. So Sheglam was kind enough to send me some more PR, and they sent me 4 of their new liquid blushes. And the one I will be using today is the one called Swipe Right. They sent me this one called Rose Ritual. Rose Ritual looks like that. It's actually a peachy pink. The other one is called Hush Hush. And Hush Hush looks like this. They sent me Birthday Suit, which is also a tad bit light, but I will find a use for them because that is what I do. I always find new ways to, this is the Rose Ritual, I mean the Birthday Suit one. I always find different ways to use my makeup because makeup is very versatile and it usually never only does just one thing. So I'm going in with Swipe Right. I always apply my blush in this fashion because I like for my face to appear more lifted than round. And just like with everything else, you want to pat the product into place. You see how subtle it is? It brings more color back into my face. Yes, I do not have naturally red cheeks, but this looks nice on makeup. And now to set this concealer before it dries up on me, I'm going to go on in with my Sorbet loose powders in the shades medium and the one in the shade translucent. Now to set my contour, I will be going in with my smudge press powder, which I am in the shade Mahogany. Also, when you're setting, you also want to pat, pat, pat. You pat on everything in makeup, except for the products on your lips. To set my nose contour and the rest of my face, I will be going in with my Yardley press powder, which I am in the shade Walnut. Don't you just love how this powder just ties everything together? I am besotted with this new technique of mine. So for the second half of today's makeup tutorial, I will be using the palettes that were sent to me by Sheglam. Shein was kind enough to send me 7 of their eyeshadow palettes, and I will show you one by one how they all look. The first one is the Tie-Dye 4 eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. It's got 9 shadows, 3 shimmers, actually 2 shimmers and 7 matte shades. And what I love about their eyeshadows is that All of their shades have names, and the packaging and the palette itself, it feels so heavy, and that in turn makes it look and feel, you know, pricey, much more pricier than they are. So I love this brand so much because I cater to my beauties who want to pay less for beauty, and Sheglam is the way to go. So the next one is called Love You So Matcha. This one is a 3, 6, 9, 12 12 shadow eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. Next one is called Sunflower Hour eyeshadow palette. I used this one this week on an Instagram reel. The next one is called the Very Strawberry palette, and it looks like this. Next one is called the Ombre on Replay eyeshadow palette. Next one is called Hold the Cone palette. Last one is called the For Bake's Sake palette. I'm now priming my lid space using my Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock eyeshadow primer, which I got from Beauty Bound. First palette that I will be playing in is the one called Ombre on Replay, and I will be going in with the shade called Chainmail. The reason why I start with the black shade is because I really want the shades that I will be using after this one to appear more darker than they actually are. I don't go from light to dark when I do my eyeshadow. I prefer going from dark to light. I think you can already tell by the shape. Well, I know you saw it in the intro, but yeah, we are doing a halo cut crease look. It's not even going to be a cut crease. The next shade that I will be going in with to blend out this black shade, well, our main shade will be the one from my Hold the Cone palette, and this time I will be going in with this purple right here. What I'm doing is I'm meshing this purple shade with the black by patting it directly on top of the black while blending it out simultaneously. The next shade that I will be going in with is from the Ombre on Replay palette, and I will be using this one right here. It's called Delta. Beautiful. Alright, so now that we're done with the blend, for the center part of this eyeshadow look, I'm going to go back into the Ombre on Replay palette, and I will take a mixture of both of these shades just to swipe down the center of this eye look. This is incredible because I didn't even have to wet my brush, so you can imagine just how beautifully the shimmer shade is applying with little to no effort. Now to blend out any harsh edges, I will be going in with this shade right here. This one is called Complicated. And now we all know by now that I'm going to spice this look up, and I will be using this yellow liquid eyeliner that I bought off the Shein website in a pack of 14. One thing about these liquid liners, they are very nice and pigmented, but you need to go over the same line a couple of times for it to show up. So instead of just having a straight line, I decided to drag it down on my sides, and I think it looks quite cool. Please let me know what you think about this whole entire eye look in the comment section down below, and let me know if you would like to see more graphic liner looks in on my channel in the future, and I will get those done for you guys. And let me know if there's any other makeup look that you would like to see me do or recreate for you. Just leave it in the comment section as well, and I will get to it as well. Now for lips, I'm going to go with a very neutral lip today because of the very bold eye look. So I'm going to start off by lining my lips with my Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Black Fever. But first, I'm going to apply a tad bit of some smudge lip gloss just to make sure that my lips are nice and moist. I find that products go on better when my lips have something on. Now I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F18 just to diffuse this harsh black pencil. And for the center of my lips, I'm going to go in with a mixture of these 2 Generation Matte Lippies that were sent to me by Catrice Cosmetics. I will link where you can get them. If I had known that I was going to use these 2 lippies, I wouldn't have applied lip gloss because they are very moisturizing for a matte lipstick. They got this velvety texture that doesn't make your lips chap and peel like if you were to use other drugstore matte liquid lipsticks. Another trick I learned off the TikTok streets was to take some translucent powder. If you want your lips to be matte, just take some translucent powder. I'm just going to use the same powders I used earlier and just tap. I still think I want a glossy lip, but I just want to show you how beautifully this technique works. There you have a flawlessly beautiful matte lip that won't budge. And now what is left to do is to lock everything in, and for that I will be using my Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. No, today I will be using my Scarlet Hill setting spray instead. And just like that, beautiful, we have made it to the end of today's makeup tutorial. Thank you so much for watching until this far. If you enjoyed this beat, can you please click on this tutorial to watch next? And if you haven't already, my darling, please subscribe to my channel and show your girl some love. I will catch up with you again in my next one. Bye.